Yes, people. Welcome back to GNA TV. We're here to preview the Chelsea versus Porto game. Before we do that, let's cue that intro.
Know how I'm here, and it's you that I want to need. Feel your heartbeat. Feel somewhere you're looking now. Feel your heartbeat. Feel somewhere you're looking now.
Yes, people. What are you saying? I hope yous are all well. I hope everyone started the week happy and in a good mood. Obviously, if you live in the UK, all the shops are open, the gyms are open, which is where you found me today in the gym, in pain right now after that workout. But yeah, I'm joined with Lambs, Andrew, and Slens. Guys, how are yous?
All good, man. All good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Gearing up.
All good? All happy? Everyone in
Yeah.
a good mood?
Yep.
Anyone scared about tomorrow's game? Chelsea-Porto, quarterfinal, second leg. Chelsea got a 2-0 lead. Are any of you a little bit sceptical?
Nope.
Yes. A little bit. I just think with me, I don't want us to concede early, man. I feel like conceding early, it gives those teams hopes. And we've seen a lot of comebacks, so hopefully we're not going to be part of a comeback. But I don't know, it's just a funny little feeling in the back of my head is saying might be a nervy game.
Yeah, I agree. Before we move forward, people, please smash that like button. Please subscribe to GNA TV if you're new here as well. And make sure you subscribe to Winter Surfers KH No Filter. And you've got a new one, didn't you?
Yes, the Nexus with Prime
Nexus,
and Will, yeah.
Get following Nexus.
Yeah.
And you know where with Slens Talks. Go and follow Slens on his YouTube channel as well. Look, guys, before we delve properly into it, I just want to go through, I want to share something with you guys. I want to go through the confirmed team news, which is actually on the Chelsea page at the moment. Thomas Tuchel was named a 23-man squad to travel to Seville. I thought he was at Chelsea, I don't know why, but it's at Seville again for our Champions League quarterfinals. Andreas Christensen is part of the travelling party, which means he's back after missing the weekend over Crystalpalace, while Thiago Silva is also included. So we've got all of our defenders available for this game. Blues head into the game, which is classed as our home leg with a 2-0 aggregate lead. Tuchel and his players flew to Spain this morning before heading to the team hotel, once landed with a pre-match press conference to take place. I swear that happened already, isn't it? Or is that tomorrow? Is that tomorrow's press conference?
We're playing on Wednesday, right?
Did they not confirm the team news today, or is it tomorrow?
No, they'll confirm the squad. They had the press conference today because it's always the day before.
Yeah,
it's tomorrow. The game's tomorrow, yeah.
Game's tomorrow, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to suss. Is there anyone that's actually out? Because by looking at that, I don't think we're missing anyone, are we?
They didn't take Billy Gilmore, not for any injury. They just didn't take him.
So you've got Kepa, Rudiger, Alonso, Krusty, Jorginho the Brit, Thiago Silva, and Kante, Abraham, Pulisic, Werner, Caballero still even there. Zuma, Mendy, Kovacic, Giroud, Mount, Hudson-Odoi, Chilwell, Ziyech, James, Aspie, Havertz, and Emerson.
Yeah, it's the squad basically. It's the squad.
There's your squad, people. There is your squad. What I do want to talk about before we move on to anything is I want to talk about obviously the game tomorrow, but I want to talk about individual players that played well against Palace. Good result for us over the weekend. And I want to start with Callum Hudson-Odoi. Callum Hudson-Odoi had a great game. I thought had a good game. Some people seem to think opposite, but I thought he looked quite comfortable out on that as that wing back. Does Hudson-Odoi, Lambs, deserve to start this game? Or are you a little bit sceptical because Porto have got their 2 top goal scorers back and you want to kind of maybe just have Reece James in there just to tighten things up? What would you do tomorrow, Callum Hudson-Odoi?
It's different. It's difficult. Because like you said, you can't deny he had a great game against Crystal Palace. You could also argue Porto are not Crystal Palace. Yes, we were phenomenal. Certain players really stepped up, but you could also argue Crystal Palace are pretty terrible as well. So it kind of made that win pretty easy for us. Whereas, Porto are going to come back all guns blazing. This is why I agree with Slens. I am worried because there's nothing like playing a team who have nothing to lose and knowing that they were better than us in the midfield during the last game, and they were quite unlucky to actually concede 2 goals to us. Just switched off. But like you said, having their players back, that's going to give them a massive boost as well. Knowing that they performed better than us as well, it's going to give them a huge boost as well. Callum Hudson-Odoi, what I saw over the weekend, and what I like, and I don't think Reece James does this too consistently, he's not afraid to run, cut in, take on the player. He's got that pace, technical ability to be able to do that and whip them balls into the box. Whereas Reece James, like you said, he does tend to do that maybe once every 20 minutes in a game, but he is quite defensively minded. And I think he's growing into the wing-back position, but it comes so naturally to Callum Hudson-Odoi. I think, I don't know, I feel like I would start Callum Hudson-Odoi, because if we can get an early goal or 2 and then put in Reece James afterwards to shore up the back, I'd be okay with that. But I'd like us to start on the front foot this time.
I hear you. Slins, you just heard what Lamb said about Callum Hudson-Odoi. Do you agree, or would you go for the safer option in Reece James tomorrow?
Do you know what? I'd go for the safer option. But what I'll say is, what was important about that game is that if you look at Hudson-Odoi, he's a winger, right? So his instinct as a right footer is to go down the byline and stretch out the backside. That's what he did. So the backside of Palace was so stretched out that we find spaces in the middle, which is what Mount did. Obviously, Mount was drifting in, and then we found the spaces, put the crosses in, and we found the space for Kai Havertz. That's what we should do against a low block team. Stretch them out as much as we can. That's what Hudson-Odoi is good at. So against those teams, I would love to have him, because I feel like it's a very offensive move. But in this kind of game, you want to kind of be you want to be rigid, you want to be compact. Reece James is great at individual battles. Like he will always body the player. 1-on-1, he's great. So I'd have Reece James, to be honest.
Fair enough. Winter Surfer, what are you saying?
Yeah, I want, and Tuchel will definitely play Reece James at right wing back. I think it's a safer option. I do expect Hudson-Odoi to come on during the game, second half, especially deep in the second half. I think he's going to look to play counter-attacking football here as much as possible, but not to over-exploit the defence as well, because you are right. They did run through us a bit more than I would have liked, especially during the second half. But I think Reece James was excellent in the first leg, one of his best defensive displays as well. And Azpilicueta as well, that right-hand side. These last 2 games, he's been very good defensively. So I would... shut up after. Yeah, I definitely, Reece James for me would start, but Hudson-Odoi definitely to come on. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I hear that. For me, I would go with. I feel like where we're winning. If we was chasing this game, I would say throw Cho on, because I don't think Reece James gives us that edge, especially on the attacking side of things. I think he can whip a good ball in. We know that. We know he's good at whipping a ball in. But is he going to take a player on? Is he going to be able to dribble past the player? No. I think what Hudson-Odoi does give us is he's very direct. He can dribble with the ball. He's quick with the ball. He's calm with the ball. And even you saw it against Palace. For me, it all went down that wing. Yeah. Every time we were breaking, it was always down that wing. Mason Mount linking up with. That's another thing. Mason Mount and Callum Hudson-Odoi seem to have a really good thing going on. When they're both on the same pitch, they have like this telepathic reading of each other. The way, because if you notice with Mason Mount, he drifted out a lot next to Callum Hudson-Odoi, and they were playing these little 1-2s for each other and laying each other off. And I like to see that. Don't get me wrong. It's good that, they did play with each other when they were young anyway, didn't they? In the reserves, etc. So you expect them to have that. But yeah, it's. I would go with a Reece James probably just to start this game. I want to move on to the back line. Obviously, it's confirmed that we've got everyone fit. Everyone's raring to go. Obviously, Christensen's back. Thiago Silva's available. Zuma, who I thought had a very good game against Palace, it wasn't spoken about enough, had a very good game. Rudiger's just set this, the tone for me. He's undroppable, and the same with Aspi as well. But I'm going to again start with Lambs. Who do you think starts in the middle of that 3, or who would be your ideal 3 starting from tomorrow?
I'm going to say again, it's going to be Thiago Silva for me, because again, we don't really have many centre backs who are ball carrying centre backs, and he's somebody that does that very well for us and very well consistently throughout his career. And that's just something that unfortunately Christensen and Zuma just don't do for me. Another person who does like to carry the ball into midfield is Antonio Rudiger as well. So I'd like to see him start as the left hand side of that back three. But I'd definitely like to see Thiago Silva again. His experience, his knowledge, I think we need him to kind of settle the back four in a game like this. You know, like, don't guys just be professional, don't do anything rash. We're winning, let's not throw it away. And I think that's what's needed. So for me, Thiago Silva's in that centre.
Fair enough. Slens, do you agree or do you disagree?
Do you know what? Like, I'm kind of I'm on the fence here, but I wouldn't mind either of them starting because they've both been really they've been good when they played. They've been consistent. So to be honest with you, in this kind of game, I would lean towards Thiago Silva because listen, you need as much experience as you can, right? You want everyone. I feel like the first 5 minutes, I have a feeling the game will go away. They're going to be attacking us. It's going to be quite nervy. We need someone like Thiago Silva, Aspi, and Rudiger there to kind of like calm the nerves down, take over the defense, be like, listen, calm it down, keep it on the floor, just take it easy. I think Thiago Silva will do that, obviously with his wealth of experience. But I wouldn't mind Christensen starting. I just find it interesting, by the way, that he missed the last game when it was his birthday. But that's what it is. It's interesting. But yeah, I wouldn't mind Thiago Silva, to be honest.
Winter Surfer?
I don't think Thiago Silva will start. I think Christensen will come back in. It'd be the regular back three at the moment. It's really weird what I'm about to say.
Here we go.
I think Thiago Silva will be used sparingly during the run-in. I think he'll be the one to come in for whoever, and that'll be the regular back three moving forward if he stays like that. Him and Zuma will be the ones to be the alternates, only because they've done, apart from the West Brom game, they've done so well defensively that it's hard. It would be a shame to break them up. They have been playing well, but I can see Thiago Silva coming on during the game, but I don't see him starting at all. I see Christensen coming in. Is Christensen's fit enough? If he's not, then I would put Thiago Silva in, but I see Christensen coming back.
The biggest question I've got for you, actually, I would actually start. I'd actually give Thiago Silva a go tomorrow in my eyes. But if we do move forward, which we should do in this in the Champions League, obviously it's going to get harder. We might have to play Real Madrid, Liverpool. Get past them, we'll get to the final. Do you not think it would be important to then think of having someone like Thiago Silva back in the team when you're playing against the more experienced teams, the more of the teams that I think are going to give us more problems in many ways, especially now it's getting into the latter end of the Champions League. Do you not think Thiago Silva would be key to start more than having a Christensen in the middle of it when there's no real leaderships in there to get you through a game?
I don't want to see Christensen with Benzema running up to him like that. No way. I'm sorry, that's going to give me a heart attack.
I don't know. I think Thiago Silva might be more important off the pitch than on the pitch as well. I see him being like a de facto defensive coach for the boys. Listen, it's a great feeling to have when you can actually have a legitimate debate and go, I don't need to put Thiago Silva in for this match, or I don't need to put him in for this match whatsoever. It's what we wanted, essentially. Listen, I'll probably be proven wrong and he'll come and start all the rest of the big games, but it's nice to have this discussion where we can actually pick which games to put Thiago Silva in, and we don't have to overstretch him or anything like that.
Yeah,
we could be. We could all be proven wrong, because we've got the semi-final coming up at the weekend. It's probably a perfect time to actually start Thiago Silva tomorrow and build up his match minutes for the City game, because then you don't see him probably playing the game against Brighton next Tuesday. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It'd be like something like that. So it could work out like that. But it's a great debate to have. I wouldn't have imagined this debate 3 months ago, saying that we could rest Thiago here and there because we've got Christensen, Zuma, and Rudiger stepping up, because that never came into my mind. So
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, for me, I think I agree with what Winter Surfer's saying, but I just feel like in the games where we might play up against the Benzema, like Lamb said, for example, can we trust them back three? Like, can we trust the Crusties, the Zumas, the Rudigers, that?
We can't. We can't.
I don't know. Maybe we can. Maybe they'll prove us wrong. Don't get me wrong, but I've seen it in the past. When I think of latter ends of this. When I think
As-
of the latter ends, right, I think
Yeah.
of
Madrid, and in the later stages of the Champions League, if we progress that far,
yeah.
it just Zuma and Christensen would be rotational players.
The same issue though with Atletico Madrid. Remember, we were
Well, this is
worried
the
about
thing, right?
Suarez and João Felix and everything going up against these boys.
I think of Christensen getting the ball in the Champions League and decide at home and decides to do this. Oh mate, sideways pass, which I think it missed. I can't remember who was in midfield. I think Aspie, and he had to slide to try and tackle Iniesta, which Iniesta dummied so well because he does it on a regular, and then somehow finds Messi on the ball, who then powers it home in like the 90. I think it was like 80-odd minute of a game when we'd played so well and we was 1-0 up. Then we then find ourselves, I think, 1-0 in that game and going back to the new camp, and it set the tone because we lost that game off. Because if you remember,
Jem, that's a little harsh, though, Jem. Do you know why it's a little harsh? Because you're right. You're right. That one moment changes everything, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But do you know what it is? I'm not worried about him losing the ball because his ball retention is great. What I'm worried about is, for example, getting bullied by Benzema. That's more my worry. If I was to worry about Christensen, but to be honest with you, he handled Suarez well. He handled Felix well. So the way I see it is that hopefully this form can continue. But as I said, I would want Thiago Silva playing because if you look at Liverpool, not to kind of bring Liverpool into this, but if you look at Liverpool, Thiago should have played in that midfield because he's got that wealth of Champions League experience, and it cost him because they played Keita instead. And they cost them completely. So for me, the way I look at it is I don't want to make these mistakes. Play someone who's experienced, who's played in Champions League finals, played in the highest competitions. I'd have Thiago Silva, of course. But again, I wouldn't mind Christensen being there because I can trust him.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What we're going to do is I'm just going to quickly share this lineup. This is what I think Tuchel's going to do. This is what I think Tuchel is going to do
Another one
tomorrow. I know some of you might disagree with me here, yeah, when you see some of the names, but I reckon you're going to see that back four. These, I think Jovic will start. I think Chile B will start. Reece James will start. Mason Mount will definitely start. But then I've got a feeling you might see Hakim Ziyech come back into this game, and the only reason I say that is because he seems to like playing in the Champions League, and I think Tuchel's noticed that. I think he's noticed that he's more quick. He's more set up to play better in the Champions League than he is in.
I love it, man. I love it.
He's still
This might be
petty.
an unpopular opinion, but I would rather have Havertz there instead of Mount, to be honest.
No. You can't say that. Don't say that.
Not the way he's
It's a
playing.
popular opinion, but Havertz is like, Mount is a hard worker, yes, but he doesn't have the technical ability of Havertz. Like, you can't deny that. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He doesn't-
Mount's
he doesn't
playing
want-
so well though. I'm not joking.
Yeah, he is. He's playing well. He's our best player.
He's
He
our
is
best
playing
player.
well, don't get me wrong, and that was a brilliant turn, and goal that he scored in the last leg. But before that moment of brilliance, it was like we were pretty much getting run through the midfield. There was nothing coming. There was like no service. There was absolutely no service for our front attacking players, and that's because I think Jorginho and Kovacic was so bad, but Jorginho was even worse. He literally done the one pass that led to Mason Mount's goal, and he got man of the match. That's foolish. So I don't know why Kante is not even being considered.
Do you know what? Right, I think you've got to bear in mind as well. We're playing Man City on Saturday. So there will be a lot. I think you will see a lot of rotation, and I think Kante might actually even come into that game against Man City, just because I think legs is going to be important for that game. But I do think.
you know what, Jem?
I'd be surprised if Giroud starts. That's what I'm saying. If he leads the line,
I don't know, man.
Jem, two things for me, yeah? Two things for me. I think Timo Werner is definitely going to start. And the reason being is that they're going to come at us and he's going to have that space. And number two, I'm going to make a mad claim, but I think Giroud has as much as Tammy has a chance to start in this team, honestly. I think he's not a big fan of both because of their lack of mobility and the lack of press. So he's not a big fan of both for the same reason for me. But I would love Giroud to start again. That's someone who proved it in the Champions League, proved it in a clutch moments. So I wouldn't mind it, but I don't see it happening. I see Werner, maybe Havertz and Mount. Maybe that's why I see. And I do understand Ziyech being there again because he performed in the Champions League. But the Havertz, Werner, and Mount for me, to be honest.
all right. That's what I think he's going to do anyway. What do you think he will do tomorrow then? Starting with Lambs. What do you think he'll do tomorrow? Anything will change?
Unfortunately, I do agree with you on the back three. As much as I'd like to see Thiago Silva, where Christensen's going to be, I think he's going to go for Aspi in that back three. The wing backs, I think Ben Chilwell will keep his position because I don't think he's done anything wrong. He's actually turned up in the last couple of games, so good on him for that. Reece James thing, I'd probably like to see maybe Callum Hudson-Odoi start instead there, and I'd like to see Havertz instead of Mount. I know because we've been playing Mount a lot, so with City coming up, I'd like to maybe feel rested, so maybe come off the bench in the second half for this game. But I would like to see Havertz and Ziyech there because I think that is tantalising creative link up between them two. I'd really like to see that. I would like to see Giroud start again because I think Champions League, he's turned up for us in Champions League. Important games, he's gotten critical goals for us as well. But I do see Slens' point about Timo Werner being there for the pace, run at the Porto defenders because apart from Pep, that good. So I do understand that. But if I would put any changes, I'd probably take out James for Cho, take out Mount for Havertz, and take out Christensen for Silva. Otherwise, I'm pretty much and I would probably start Kante. But I do understand the reason for him being rested. So as soon as possible, if I could put Kante on as a substitute, that'd probably be my first sub, to be fair. Or Jorginho.
Yeah, fair. It had to be Jorginho, didn't it? It wasn't even a debate. It had to be Jorginho. I mean, Slens, what would you do with that, mate?
So I think Ziyech for Werner.
Yeah.
I see Havertz for Giroud. I honestly think you disagreed with me backstage, but I'm going for Jorginho and Kante. I think that's the pivot he's going to go for.
Yeah.
And I do believe Silva would start in the middle. I think Christensen will start versus Man City, unfortunately for you guys. But yeah, he probably will, yeah.
Yeah, I hear that. With Surfer, do you agree, disagree?
I think, yeah, well, I think the first 7 names on that, 8 names on that list, yeah, goalie, midfield, defence midfield would be the same. And I think Werner's definitely coming in. He'll either come in for where Giroud is, or he'll go in with Ziyech and Havertz will start where Giroud is. But apart from that, I don't see much change to that starting lineup. Apart from those 2 changes, essentially.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, let's have a little bit of fun with this. What would we do? What would we want? What would we want to see? You know, what would you want to see tomorrow as our best sort of 11 lineup? Like, all right, this is what we'll do, yeah, just to make it fun. We've all got one card, we've got one choice where we can pick a player and you can't move them. They get to stay, yeah? So think about it wisely. It could be any player you want. It doesn't even have to be the players on there at the moment. But there's one player that we cannot touch if you say he's got to stay, yeah? And then we'll muck around with the others after. So I'm going to start with Lambs. Lambs, the one player that you think needs to be playing and starting tomorrow, who is it?
Okay, Ben Chilwell. He has to. Can't move him. He deserves his place. He's proven he deserves
he
his
doesn't have to be on this list though as well, yeah? So just bear that in
But
mind.
definitely Ben Chilwell. We don't even have that many options in that position. It's what Alonso and Emerson. So for me, definitely Ben Chilwell, especially because he has stepped up. He's been brilliant. So that's somebody that has to stay there in there for me.
Fair enough. Slens, who are you going for, mate?
I'm going for the most expensive goalkeeper. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, I'm putting. Do you know what? I'm putting Havertz instead of Giroud. I want to keep him there. He's in good form. Yeah, he's in good form.
He wants Havertz. That's cool. So Havertz and Chile B are certains. Winter server?
Big Tony Rudiger, man. Man's been colossal and stepped up. Sort of asked him to do, and he is so valuable now to this team going forward. He needs to be in that discussions over Thiago Silva, but he needs to be on that list as well to be in that defence for the rest of the season. Yeah. Injury free and suspension free, obviously. But Tony Rudiger for me is one of the first names on that team sheet now. So.
All right. So we've got Rudy, Chili B, and Havertz. They are certainties. I get my choice. This is fun.
Oh, I wonder. I
Let me
wonder.
make it
Yeah.
I should have protected him, man.
Yeah,
I made the wrong
exactly.
move. I made the wrong move.
We should have been tactical, Slens, and you should have been tactical and protected him.
Nah, I knew
Yeah.
he was going to go on, man.
I knew that was coming. I was like, I'm gonna leave midfield because I know Jem's gonna like pan.
It doesn't mean that he can't come back in the team, because now we're going to discuss it and be like, right, who comes in?
Look, Jorginho's messing with his Wi-Fi now. You see that?
Guys, all right. So let's talk about all the other positions that we've got here. Let's start from the back. Mendy's a certainty, yeah? Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, let's hope so, man.
Kepa's not getting in this.
No, we're playing Kepa. Surely it's time to give him a. Huh?
No.
Oh my days, man. I'd rather play Caballero, man.
All right. What? Caballero?
No, as in instead of Kepa. Yeah.
Right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Rudiger's confirmed by Winter Surfer, but then that leaves Krusty the Clown. So let's start with Krusty the Clown. Are we all in agreement that he should be playing, or is there a shout out for Zuma? Is there a shout out for Thiago Silva? Let's all go around, make a decision together. What are we saying?
No.
What was that?
So Krusty the Clown. Yeah. Are we keeping him? Would you change him? What would you want?
Again, I think experience over everything in this back four, because we have a 2-0 lead. We don't really need to attack. We need to defend, guys. So experience. That's why. That's why I'll go for Thiago Silva. Listen, guys, apart from West Brom, that's the only team come up against. He just seems to lose his head. His head. But apart from that, when he has played, he's been brilliant. He has. We can't deny that. So, and in these games, he took his team, Paris Saint-Germain, to a final. They didn't even lose. They only lost by 1 goal, and it was just unlucky. But he was so professional and drilled and calm in that back four. So I'll go for him, to be fair.
Okay. Slens, so it's 1-0 to Thiago Silva. Who are you going for?
Yeah. Listen, I'm definitely not putting the French Tarkovsky Kurt Zuma in there. Definitely not. Man.
That's bang
but you know what? Listen, honestly, obviously I like the play. I like Jorginho. But I do think he will start with Kante. I keep thinking, I don't know if I can do that. You put him as a trump card, or am I allowed to put him back in?
Ron Christensen.
Yeah, Ron Christensen. We're not up there yet.
Christensen.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, you know what?
Untouchable. He's untouchable. That was.
No, I wasn't going to move Kante. I was going to move the other one. But you know what? I'll put Thiago Silva in because I want his experience, man. I want his experience. I really want his experience. So I'm putting Thiago Silva in.
That's two. Winter Surfer.
Yeah, it's not going to be a hat trick. I'm sticking with Christensen. I'm sticking with Christensen just at the moment. I understand what everyone's saying, but I think this team has enough. That back three has enough to deal with Porto being 2-0 up. I'm not going to change it. So Christensen for me, he's earned his place. So.
Well, it don't really. I could say Christensen, and then it would go.
You're not going to, though. You're calling Krusty.
Yeah, you can't say it.
You can't.
But if we do that, then I can leave it to the viewers. And then the viewers
okay.
To be honest,
yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah,
can't do it.
Yeah.
Him and Jorginho, I can't hold myself to say it.
I love it.
Oh,
I'm
man.
going for Kurt Zuma. That's what I'm going for, right? I'm not having this on Kurt Zuma, right? Kurt Zuma puts in decent performances, and every time he has a little bad moment, when it weren't just him, it was the whole defence when we conceded all 5 goals. Yeah.
Yep.
He's the worst one out of the 4. It's his fault.
He's the worst defender in the world.
Yeah, he is the worst defender.
He's the worst.
But the man's our top goal scorer as a defender.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because Christensen headers anywhere but at the goal when he's in the corner, when he's at the corner.
Hold on, Jem. Jorginho's got 5 goals in the league. Come on, are you rating Jorginho? Come on. You see.
I'm talking about defenders. Rudiger, yeah, he gets too overexcited and runs too fast at the ball, and then God knows where it's going to go. He doesn't even know himself. And then Zuma and Thiago Silva's quite good in the air, isn't he, from corners, to be fair. So yeah.
He is, yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't matter. It looks like Thiago Silva, it has won.
Oh, Monstro, man. That's the guy.
El Monch. Actually, L?
No, they put an O in the beginning. It's not L. It's O Monstro. I don't know why.
Well, O.
Monstro, literally. Yeah. That's how it's spelled. Yeah. 90% of his goals are penalties. It's true. It's true. 99%. I'm sorry. He hasn't never scored.
Ascot and Plata, are we all in agreement that Aspie is starting this one? Or are we saying something else? I don't know. Someone want to throw Reece James in there? Someone want
No.
Zuma in there? What about Krusty? Krusty's not on the pitch?
No.
Leave Krusty alone, man. On the bench.
No.
Aspie, yeah?
Dave says there.
Yeah, Mr. Tuck Your Shirt has to go in, man. Mr. Tuck Your Shirt definitely has to go.
Bear in mind, this is the team that we want, yeah? This is not what we think.
Well, you say that. Not really.
All right.
We've actually, breaking news, we've actually paid Chelsea to go for this lineup, so don't be surprised.
Yeah.
Jorginho's captain then.
Oh no, that's why my light bill's just gone.
Reece James. Let's start with Reece James. Lambs. Is there any shout out for Cho being able to pick Reece James?
I mean, I've made my case for Cho. I don't know how Slens and Winter Circle feel about that, but I don't know if they're probably thinking more defensively minded. Yeah, and that's why I want Thiago Silva there. So you have to worry about the defense too tough and focus on trying to get some early goals and just kill them off. Whatever hope they came into this game, whatever comeback they thought they were going to get, just kill that hope straight away. And for me, Cho does that. He gets forward, whereas Reece James doesn't do that too often. And I guess I suppose it's more what Tuchel's going for. Does he want to get the goals, or is he just happy to just sit back and defend?
Yeah, fair enough. I get what Lambs is saying. Slens, do you agree?
Do you know what? On Monster's channel, the first leg, I suggested that we try out Reece James in right centre back, right? And I want to see that once. I want to see James in right centre back and Hudson. I want to see it once this season, just so I can get it out of my head, see if it works or not. Because I feel like it will be a really good partnership, man. I feel like Reece James and Hudson-Odoi will just be like overlapping each other. Like I know defensively it does look a bit open, but I want to try it against teams that kind of have low blocks that don't press us. But no, for this game, listen, Azpilicueta has to start, man. He's Mr. Consistent, Mr. Tuck Your Shirt, and I call him. So listen, he has to start. He's going to be one of our most important players in this game. I can already tell, because these kind of games he always steps up, makes the right decisions. So yeah, I'm having Azpi in there.
We're talking about Reece James.
Reece James, bro.
It's about Reece James. We just talked about Dave. Reece James is definitely starting as well. He's definitely starting. Definitely starting. No, not this game. Not this game. No, sorry guys. Sorry, honestly, my head's scrambled. Sorry.
One of them days. Winter Surfer, what are you saying?
When you have a tank, you unleash it onto the battlefield. Okay, and that's what Reece James is. He's part tank, part Hulk. So what you do is you unleash him. Okay. And he's there to handle their wingers, and that's what he did the first leg. You want to bring Cho on in the second leg after we've scored a goal and we're 3-0 up on aggregate, no problem. But Reece James starts tomorrow because that's what we need him to do. That we need to help Azpilicueta up right centre back, just cover that right side, because I think that's their most dangerous side. So for me, I put Reece James in there.
Fair enough. I'd go with Reece James for this game as well. I think ideally it depends the opposition you're up against. I think Cho's, if you're playing against a team that's playing the low block, I think Cho's better. I don't think you need a Reece James. You only really need a Reece James when you're up against an opposition that has decent wingers and that are going to cause you problems going the other way a lot more. I think Reece James is fair enough. There's no dispute on that one. But then we go to the middle, and you've got Kante, you've got Kovacic, Lambs. Obviously, Kante is a stay, so we can't touch Kante. So we're going on to Kovacic. Is there anyone else that should come in for Kovacic?
Nope, I'm good. I like it that way. I like it. That double K pivot, perfect. Perfect.
Double K pivot. Nice. Slens?
Listen, I said we're going to see a Jorginho and Kante pivot, the Jante pivot, I like to call it. It's definitely going to be. I think I see it happening in this game. I'm putting Jorginho for Kovacic for me.
Wow. Okay, so that's 1-1. Winter Surfer. what are you going for? We're going to have to think about this.
I think I'd agree. I put Jorginho in for Kovacic. I think he might be needed more than a Kovacic here, and also I'm purely doing it for part banter as well for this selection. So I'm putting Jorginho in there as well.
The Kings Road Pirlo, man. That's
Kings
the
Road Pirlo, man. Yeah.
Kings Road Pirlo. Kings
The
Road
world's
Jack.
end Thiago. That's what it is. The world's end Thiago.
Oh no! I'm never coming. I'm never coming on this channel again, man. I'm never going to be on this channel. Go. I know this. After this, that's it. That's it. I'm done, guys. I'm done.
It's more like the Kings Road Jacker. What are you talking about?
How dare you?
Respect Jorginho.
I'm going with Kovacic, so there's no way in hell I'm putting
2-2.
That means it's a tiebreaker. We need the in the chat to break Jorginho or Kovacic.
We'll make some fake accounts, Will, please. Make some fake accounts.
I'm leaving it to you guys. There's 2 for Kovacic, there's 2 for Jorginho. Who do you want to see playing next to Kante?
Just
Let us know in the chats now.
Also,
Guys,
because you'll have to make Gem type Jorginho in. So if you want to do it, make Gem type Jorginho in.
That don't count, Will. You can't say 2 Jorginhos. That's cheating. That's 1 for Jorginho.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
2,
Yeah.
3.
Oh, come on, guys.
No, we can't be doing this.
4.
Oh, Velv.
4.
Fuck off.
Velv, allow it. Come on.
Yes, Velv. Sorry for the slander,
Still
Velv. I actually forgive you now.
Will super chat account.
Whoa.
This is cheating. Will,
Trent
stop these
Alexander-Arnold isn't that.
5. That's 5. Come on.
That's it, man. Jorginho, man.
I got a -2 from Will, actually, because he's got 3 on there.
The J5 Hive.
McTominay, you know, lol.
Fair enough. In that case, I will put in. Let's put in.
Yeah, we lost one. Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
There we go.
Don't do this.
You can't put that. You can't put that.
I don't want him anymore. Man. Get him up.
That is outrageous. The slander.
Oh. Respect him, man.
We do have funny as always. Let me change that. That's a bit disrespectful. You're
gonna delete the Italian bit. Is that what you just give a prick?
Yeah, he is. He is as well.
Let me change it.
You know, you're on the Kings Road Pirlo. It's not difficult to type. Kings Road Pirlo.
Oh, George.
No, man. J5.
Player 5. So
Like that slow coach, sideways, any of them will do.
Right, slow coach / that's better, isn't it?
Guys, call him vice captain, isn't it? He's a vice captain. That's what I'm saying.
Slow coach / sideways. All right, that's cool. Slow coach / sideways. Kante, James, Chilwell. Chilwell's already confirmed, guys. We can't even play around with Chilwell right now. So he is confirmation that he starts. And then we look at the front 3. We can't look. Sorry, the front 2 because Slens has confirmed Havertz has to start people. Please smash the like button if you're new here, and please subscribe as well, please, people. We've got Mason Mount and we've got Hakim Ziyech. Lambs. Mason Mount in or Mason Mount out?
I would have taken him out for Havertz in that position, but if Havertz is in there, then I'm okay with it. He can stay.
Okay. Slens?
Yeah, man. Money Mace staying in. Has to stay in.
Fair.
I'm close to joining the hype. Very close. I want to give it a bit of time before I join it.
Slens, I'm waiting for the song to drop because does that not sound
Yeah.
like a really catchy song? Money Mace.
It could be song of the summer. You never know.
Winter Surfer?
Yeah, are we just on? Leave Mount in there. I think Werner and Havertz. It'll be Mount, Werner, and Havertz as the front three tomorrow.
Do you want Werner to play, Andrew?
Okay. For me, okay. Let's do this. Let's be proactive. Okay. Mount, Havertz,
Exactly.
Pulisic.
Respect Jorginho, man.
Mount, Havertz, Pulisic. That's what I want tomorrow.
Mount, Havertz,
Pulisic.
Okay. I'm going to go Mount. So Mount's confirmed. Havertz is confirmed. That leaves one more space in where Hakim Ziyech is. Is he in or is he out? What are you saying? This is hard, isn't it?
I don't want him in. But he's going to play. Do you know what? I'm going to go for Pulisic, man.
Steph, sorry, man. Sorry, I know you're actually loving as well.
You have to pay for your sins, Jim. You have to pay for your sins.
Yeah, I would go for Pulisic actually. That's not a bad shout. 4-2 goals.
Yeah, Pulisic, man.
Pulisic, yeah?
Yeah.
Pulisic as well?
Yeah, I'm going for Pulisic. Lewis is not happy with him.
Hey, Lewis, quickly, bro. I didn't bench him, all right? It was actually... Who benched him?
Me and Slens.
Not me.
But he's playing against City. He's playing against City, Lewis. There's no
I didn't
problem.
bench him.
Yeah, I picked Zuma.
We rested him for City, Lewis. That's the reason.
Yeah, that's literally what I did. I actually did that, for real. I want to see him versus City, man.
All right, fair enough. Ziyech. So
Danish
Pulisic,
Maldini.
are we saying Pulisic then, yeah? Is it Christian Pulisic that takes Ziyech's place, yeah? Is that what
He doesn't deserve to get dropped, does he, Jem? He doesn't deserve to get dropped because he's been really good for the last 2 games. So
And I want to talk about Christian Pulisic, actually. Obviously, I've spelled that wrong, haven't I?
yeah, it's an I instead of a U. The first U.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Slens, Pulisic. He's had his best game in my eyes. He's definitely had his best game in my eyes for Chelsea this season, I think, so far. Do you think it's because he's starting to find his fitness? Do you think it's because he's starting to find sharpness? What do you think it is? Is it a mentality? Do you expect him to continue with the same level of performance as he did against Crystal Palace, or are you just not sure of Christian Pulisic?
Jem, I'm not sure of his fitness. I don't doubt his ability, bro. He's our most I want to say explosive player, where he just takes on players. Like, he creates his own chances. He can take on 2 to 3 players. I don't think anyone else on our team can do that, other than Mason Mount, of course. But I feel like he is like a very unique player. I don't want to compare him to Hazard, but he's got the ability to have that low sense of gravity and take on players. But if he adds, and one thing about him that I love is his movement. He's always in the right place at the far post. Like, he was that guy against the likes of Burnley, the Palace last year, Liverpool. Like, he's always in the right place. And Palace yesterday, or the day before, he proved that he can be in the right place. So if he can do that again, man, if he can just keep his fitness up, then he can be one of our best players, for real. One of our best players. Just keep your fitness, bro. Stay fit. I don't care what you do. Like, go train with anyone. Just build your muscle. Please, just stay fucking fit, man, for once. Literally.
The thing is, right, I'm going to Winter Surfer on this. Obviously, Christian Pulisic, when he's fit, do you think he's actually undroppable? And he's on form?
I think he is. I think he is undroppable. He has that dynamism. He has that change of pace. Look at, before he got into the FA Cup final, look at his play in the after lockdown. he was just unplayable for me at all. And yeah, if he gets fully fit and on the ball, it's what I said to a couple of people yesterday in a couple of streams. I was like, if he stays fit, what a weapon we have in the business end of this season that could take a game from 0-0 to 1-0 to us, or a 1-0 game to 2-1 to us. That we have, whether he starts or whether we bring him on, he's that type of player that he can do some serious damage. But no one here has ever doubted his talent at all on these panels. It's not his talent we doubt; it's his fitness record that we doubt. He needs to go at least, for me, the next 6 months without a long injury. I don't mind little niggles here if he's out for a game and then comes back the next game. I mean, when they say he's out for like 6 weeks or something like that, he needs to go a long. He needs to go a long time without getting a really big injury. But yeah, he's that difference, you know. And plus, you can play him. You could play him as a false nine. You could play him up top by himself as well. He's that type of player. Whether you can play him out wide, left or right, he's that good for me. He's that good.
Fair enough.
Not this guy. Jesus.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hello, Will.
Finish your dinner,
Hi,
did you?
friends. Andrew, I finished ages ago. We don't need to talk about this here. We don't need to talk about this here.
Will has joined the chat. Will, you can see the lineup. Tell me, what would you change with it, and what are your thoughts on Christian Pulisic as well?
I love Christian Pulisic. He's one of my favourite players. I will never. You will see me do a lot of things before I say let's sell Christian Pulisic. Let's just say that.
Like what?
By the way,
he-
Will, I love
Virginia?
the display picture. Love it.
Thank you, Lambs. I appreciate it. But yeah, with Christian Pulisic, and yeah, as Andrew said, no one's ever doubted his ability. My stance on him is, I will keep Christian Pulisic unless, for example, he has to retire. I want him playing for Chelsea no matter what. Even if he continues to get injured, I think we won't even business-wise. It doesn't make sense to sell him because we won't get a profit on him to start with, and he's so good. Even with injuries, he'll still make an impact on our team for a good part of the season. So when you've got a player that good, I don't see a reason to sell him, even if he is injury prone. I don't see any wingers out there at his age which are much better than him. I think he's one of the best in Europe, if I'm being honest. I think he's an elite talent.
I agree to a degree. I think when he's fit and on form, he's definitely got to be one of the best.
You know, Jem, before this season started, actually, like, don't get me wrong, I was excited. I was very, very gassed with all of our signings. But the one player I was really, really looking forward to coming back was Christian Pulisic, because, like you mentioned, back in the last season, he's phenomenal. He stays fit in that FA Cup final, we win. So he was somebody I was so excited. Like when he comes back, him amongst all these new signings, oh my God, we're going to be unstoppable. That's why I kind of kid myself thinking that we could actually win the league, because we have the players. Shame we didn't have the correct manager at the time, but I was really excited to see him. And it was as we're kind of coming towards, like, the season's nearly over, and we haven't even seen a glimpse of the Christian Pulisic of last year. I saw this season, maybe slight glimpses in the last 2 games, but before that, because we're constantly having to wrap him up in bubble wrap because he's so injury prone, it was getting to that point where, yeah, he's a talent, he's undeniable talent, but it's getting to the point where, are we going to continue to just, like, when are we going to cut our losses, basically? When is the injury going to become too much because he's hardly going to be playing? And that's the dilemma that I was battling. But he's undeniably a talent. I just want it to keep on carrying on. I just hope he stays fit. I just don't want him to get injured, you know?
Lambs, do you know another reason why I wouldn't sell Christian Pulisic? I think it's because, as well, even if he is injured, I have such a belief in Callum Hudson-Odoi that can fill that role. We haven't even seen him on the left-hand side, which is, for me, his strongest position. We haven't even seen him on there more than, I think he's played there like 3 times this season. And I guarantee, I think 2 of the times he's played there, he was absolutely fantastic. Hudson-Odoi is also a very, very good young winger, and I don't think there's many better than him out there as well, as in ceiling. So that's another reason. I think if we can keep Pulisic fit and we can keep Hudson-Odoi fit, I think we'll be completely fine. And in my opinion, I hate to all the Ziyech fans. I'm sorry, but when we go back to a formation which has natural wingers, I don't think Ziyech deserves to be in this team. I think Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic should be our winger pairing.
Yeah, I mean, what is there to say to that? I mean, I think the biggest problem you've got with Christian Pulisic is just his injuries. Because if he wasn't as injured as much as he was, then I don't think we'd be having this discussion. And I think a lot of the discussions we've had this season is just because his lack of form has been down to him being injured. He'd have one game and then he'd be out for a couple, and then he'd be back, have one game, and then he'd be out with a little ningle. And it's like, is this the Christian Pulisic that we're going to keep getting? Like, you know what I mean? Do we want that? And
Jem, do you think that's also one of the reasons? I know one of the reasons we're playing this formation and we're having this structure as it is because of our defence, but I think it could be a little bit down to our attack as well. You know, we have three forwards, don't we? We can change the attack slightly to suit certain players' strengths. So it's quite, the options are quite versatile in a way. So for example, we can play Mount and Havertz between the lines with Werner up front. We can play Werner as a left forward with Havertz as a false nine with Hudson-Odoi or Pulisic on Mount on the other side, and it works well. Do you think that's another reason so we can rotate our attack to stop injuries?
what do you think, Slens?
Do you know what I was gonna say, bro? Like, I was, for me, like you know, Cho. I don't want to slander him, right? But you saying he's one of the best wingers at
Young
his
wingers.
age. Yeah, but what has he done to prove it though? Like, what have you seen?
Last season, his creative stats last season.
So you're based on stats.
And eye test, yeah. And
all right,
but
but
when you see him play, he's a very
No,
good young winger.
I'm just worried about overhyping him. I think he's 20 years old, right? 21 years old.
Yeah, that's why I said
Right?
for his age. Sens, if you can name me 5 wingers at his age better than him, I'll be surprised.
To be honest, I don't watch many young wingers. I'll be honest with you.
Exactly.
I
So
watch
that's why I'm saying he's one of the
Hudson-Odoi.
best. He's one of the best.
Yeah. No, but I do get what you're saying. On the left hand side, he is. That Everton game was really impressive. Very, very impressive. But other than that, like in the right wing back area, I do like him there. Honestly, if he played there the whole season, like if Tuchel played him there the whole season, I would not mind at all. Honestly, I wouldn't mind. Like because I feel like he is kind of enjoying that role.
Yeah.
The issue is the rest of our wide players and forwards were pulling up trees this season. Pulisic wouldn't hardly be mentioned. Do you know what I mean? His injury, his focus on him.
It's true. Yeah, it's true.
That's how good he is. That the focus is on him. That he has all this things said against him. But let's be real. If Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic, Havertz, even Mount, Tammy, Werner were banging in the goals, and we were comfortably in the top 4, comfortably cemented, like in a third position, and there's no way anyone can catch us with 7 games remaining. Pulisic would be an afterthought. It'd be like, okay,
Andrew,
you're right,
Pulisic,
Andrew.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
I hear that.
but then he has to. It's partly him as well. You know what I mean? So, whatever he's
you know
doing,
your point is spot on, Andrew. Because honestly, our forwards have been so out of form that we've been crying out for, like, well, not us, but some of our families have been crying out for Tammy and then others. So it shows you that like we needed someone to just kind of be the main goal scoring threat. And you know what? You know what's mad? Pulisic can be that guy. Pulisic can be our most talented and our most potent goal scorer as a winger, which is crazy.
The madness is though when Chelsea fans try and compare him to Hazard. There's one thing you can't do. Hazard was barely, apart from that season 15-16, he was barely injured.
Yeah, that's true, Andrew.
He's barely injured, and it's unfair to compare him to a club legend like that.
It's unfair to Pulisic and Hazard. It's unfair to both.
and obviously Hazard had the special power as well. We all know what it is, you know. So you can't. Yeah.
To be fair, I get what they're saying though. Because apart from Pulisic, I'm trying to think of a young player out there that reminds me of or a player out there that reminds me of Hazard as much Pulisic. I don't think. I mean, I maybe got a bit carried away in the summer with my Pulisic propaganda comparing him to certain players, but
yes, he did.
You know, yeah, but I just believe in him that much.
I know.
So,
guys, we've got a message here from Shilio saying, do we think that we can beat Man City in the FA Cup semi-final? And do you think we can make it to the final of the Champions League? I know we get asked this question quite a lot. Do you feel confident that Chelsea can Do you think it'd be either or can you actually see us struggling to get through both, or like do you think Chelsea will get to a final in one of these competitions?
We're going to get to the final of the UCL.
Oh, we should. We should.
We're going to either beat Porto narrowly tomorrow or draw and go through. Real Madrid, we will beat them. Zidane, you bald fraud. We will beat them. We will
stop it.
We will beat Zidane. We will beat their team. You know, we'll expose Casemiro. Hopefully, Varane's there as well. We can. I mean, not hopefully. I actually quite like Varane, but I don't know why I said Varane. I'm just speaking nonsense here now, really. But it is what it is. We're gonna expose Real Madrid. We're gonna beat them. We're gonna get to the Champions League final. I'm very confident we'll get to the Champions League final. FA Cup, you know, it is what it is. We might beat them, we might not. I have no clue, if I'm being honest. I have no clue. The FA Cup semi-final.
We don't know Barry. He wears a hoodie and sunglasses on the terrace.
Barry.
On the terrace.
His real name.
That is.
It's his real name. Yeah, Barry.
No, that is.
I think Saturday's game against Sunday, is it Sunday or Saturday? Whatever it is. Saturday might be the start of a very unique 3 games this season between us and City. It could be, but that semi-final, you've got the league game where I'm hoping it is they've wrapped up and they don't have to play their strongest team, and possibly a Champions League final. If Tuchel isolates these games as a one-off, which he should do, then I don't fear City whatsoever at all. They weren't at their centre. I don't think they've been at their best for a number of weeks at this moment in time. I think they're just slow. They're just getting through games, as proven on Saturday. When they had 29 shots and they couldn't beat. They only got 1 goal against 10-man leads.
Yeah, and Dortmund as well.
Dortmund, they're very lucky against Dortmund as well. They should be going into that 2-2 at least. So, but it all depends really. So,
Jam, I've got a bit of a weird question to the panel here. I was thinking about this, right? What is more difficult? Yeah, beating West Ham, Leicester, City, or not beating them, but getting results out of them. Yeah, and then getting top 4, or is it beating Porto, Madrid twice, and potentially, I don't know, like PSG or Bayern or City? What's more difficult?
Oh, it depends who you're playing that final. In my opinion,
if you think about it, it's mad. Honestly, it's obviously I'm not saying getting top 4 is the same as. I'm just saying that you look at the rest of our games. We have very tough fixtures.
It's also with the Champions League. It's not always about who's the best team.
Yeah, of course.
It's about matchups, isn't it? It's about matchups.
It's a tournament. Of course. It's a knockout tournament. Yeah.
You know what? This might sound crazy. I'm going to say the league's harder. I'm going to say the league is going to be harder to get results in the league. And I'm not saying we're going to win the Champions League because I depend on who we get in the final if we go through.
Barry.
I can say it without getting kicked out.
Barry. Why is your name Barry?
No clue.
Barry.
Just go along with it.
Don't know.
Go along with it, Jam.
Bazaar.
Was good.
Brian, what's happening, guys? You good?
I'll already answer to Jam. Hi, Jam.
How you doing?
Wait, so what are we talking about since I just joined?
Javi, I've got a question for you, my man.
Yeah.
Are you scared of tomorrow? Like, have you got any jitters inside you about tomorrow's
Yeah,
game?
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay. And why? Why have you got the jitters? What's the jitters about?
All right. So if Porto score early, they're an emotional team anyway. They're gonna go hard, and if they get that first goal, I don't know how we're gonna react. We still haven't conceded and been a man down. I mean, not a man down, a goal down yet. And when the way Porto play, if we play Jorginho, I'm sorry, in the midfield, they play through that. We're gonna need Conte, bro. We're gonna need Conte.
Conte will play next to Jorginho.
I could agree with that. But Conte, Kovacic.
That's why I said
if Conte, Kovacic, I mean not Conte, Kovacic, Jorginho, Kovacic, they're not the best defensively. You know what I mean? With recovery.
Yeah, I understand.
You feel me?
That's fair.
Okay. I hear that. And the other question I had for you is Christian Pulisic. Would you start him, or do you think Hakim Ziyech will get into this team?
I don't mind. I don't mind. So I feel like Pulisic can be better off the bench, like an impact sub. I mean, yeah, Pulisic better off the bench because it's just his injuries, bro. Like I feel like sometimes it's too good to be true. Like, yo, we're gonna have the best performance against Crystal Palace, but then he's gonna come in and then he's gonna pull his hamstring or something like that. But he's good both ways because he's a good impact sub as well. So like when Porto's tiring and like in the last, like in the 70th minute and stuff like that, Pulisic is a perfect person to bring on. Ziyech, I can see Ziyech is a better starter. Like he's not good coming off the bench. Like he's not good.
I agree. And the other thing, go on, Prime. Go on.
Sorry, I don't know why.
Barry, go on, Barry.
Are you more worried about this second leg as opposed to our second leg against Porto or against Atletico Madrid?
I was more worried for Atletico, honestly. I was more worried for Atletico. It doesn't make like we got more of a cushion. I'm just worried that we're gonna if we concede early, that's my problem. Like if we concede early and Porto like come at us, bro.
Yeah, he's got a point.
I don't.
That's what I said.
Well, kind of, but I don't know why people are worried. Like
it's Chelsea, bro. You see, we revive West Brom.
Basically, yes. But name me other games other than West Brom.
Other games like what where we were supposed to win and we didn't.
No, but you said West Brom where we collapsed.
No, I'm saying we revived their season. Like.
Oh, okay, but name me other games other than West Brom since Tuchel's came in.
Since Tuchel, with Tuchel, to be fair, like I'm not as worried as like like Lampard. Like
it's slightly different though, no, because Big Sam's football is different to,
why
to
are
anybody
you
else's. Oh, Barry, what are you doing? I didn't realise you were here. In the dark hoodie. Ah, okay.
Because I keep calling him Barry. I'm lost right now. What the fuck?
His real name is Barry.
You don't need to know.
Is that his real name?
Barry.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Barry, can you hear me?
Don't ruin Jam's.
Father. Same question to you, really. Are you worried about tomorrow? And are you expecting any changes from the team that beat Crystal Palace as well?
First of all, I'm more worried that we might get too casual with tomorrow's performance, like we did against West Brom, and with the 2 goals away Kusic that we picked up in the first leg. Yeah, I'm slightly worried at the fact that we're playing in the first gear in that, and the fact that Porto are going to come at us in the beginning of the game. Yeah, I'm more worried about their pressure actually, but I think for me, apart from that, I just think
so disrespectful.
I just think I'm more a little bit worried about them. How we're gonna break the Porto defense. I think we've been struggling last week in the first leg, especially with that front three. Even though Havertz had a good game, Werner had an average game as well last week. I just think this game we might sounds crazy, but I don't think I don't know. I don't want to drop Timo Werner on this, but I just think he needs to start tomorrow just to get his confidence back again. But
look at Indiana's face. Look at Indiana's face.
I understand that, but come on, like
listen. No. After Pulisic played the way he did, how can you drop Timo Werner? If he's fit, I think you have to play him.
I agree with the Pulisic one, but my worry about Pulisic, about the injuries, that he's got, he's got that.
He's gonna get injured, whatever, and he gets injured in a warm up, getting out of bed, whatever.
I
would prefer. Play him.
I would prefer to start Werner and then you bring on Pulisic later on.
But what if you did that and then you brought Pulisic on and he gets injured within 5 minutes? I'd rather start the guy. If he's injury prone, I'd rather start him. If he pulls up, then at least you can bring Werner on.
It's not necessarily.
Granted, he's not going to do anything for you, but he can still run around. Do you know what I mean? Like he still causes problems with his movement. But Pulisic, I think he's your best forward, not striker, but forward. I think he's got so much talent.
Fit,
I hear that, but it's not about necessarily the injury, but in terms of this second leg isn't as important as the semi-final at the weekend.
Listen, if the players go into it with that attitude, you'll lose the game. It
No,
is
no, no.
important.
I
It
know
is
that,
important. It's a big game.
but priority-wise, the semi-final is more important because we're already through.
I don't think it. I personally, I don't think it is. I think this stage in the Champions League is a bigger priority. Forget that other semi-final.
Yes.
Like get through this.
Porto have to score 3 goals against us with
Yeah,
no.
but you still got to
They
secure it.
do, but there's nothing stopping them from scoring an early goal, and I get that. And I think
there's
that's the worry
nothing
you go
stopping-
to any
but-
game. Don't
But
get me
there's
wrong.
nothing. But against Atletico Madrid, if they scored an early goal,
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But that's
Like-
what we're saying is there's still that jitters there, isn't there? In going into
If,
this game. For me
if
personally,
Porto commit the attacking wise, we need Werner to run to his pace, running
if
behind him.
there's space, yeah, if there's space, I hear that. Indiana, obviously you're a rival. Chelsea obviously got Porto tomorrow. Are you expecting Chelsea to walk through that, or do you think that Porto are going to give us some problems?
I don't think walk through it. I think the pressure's off slightly, obviously, but I can't see Chelsea going into. I don't think Tuchel's going to allow the players to go into it like that. It's still a big game, and why wouldn't you want to make a statement? If the game is easy, still make a statement. It's the Champions League.
Yeah.
Do that. It's not an easy game. It's not a simple game. It's not a walk at all. No, but I'd be very, very surprised if you didn't go through. I'd be shocked. If you didn't
Yeah,
go
I think that's
through.
the complacency. And then this is the thing that we get too casual after the international break against West Brom. Look what happens. We fell apart. So
I think
It's
that's
not-
different. I
it's
really
not
think
about being
that's different.
casual. It's not about being casual, but it's Tuchel is the sort of manager that rotates anyway, or plays the best players possible for the game, and he doesn't think on a 1-game basis like Lampard does. He's going to think 2, 3, 4 games ahead. The fact that look at our running when we had Atletico twice and we had to play Man United and Liverpool and Everton. The way he managed those run of games allowed us to get the only points we dropped was against United when we got a draw.
But Prime.
Well, United dropped points that game, but we'll agree.
Do you think Chelsea? Do you think Tuchel himself? Do you think they're actually prioritising what's more important right now? Because we're behind West Ham by a point in the Champions League. Yeah. We're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, which we're playing tomorrow, and then we've got Man City in a semi-final of the FA Cup. Do you think there's any prioritisations in terms of what we should really be playing our best teams up against, or do you think he's just rotating the squad depending on the individual team, for example?
Well, you play your best possible team that you can, but every game is different. How you will approach Man City will be different to how I don't know who our next league game is against, but it's different to how you approach
West Ham, isn't it?
West Ham.
It's
Brighton.
Probably even better. But the fact of this second leg is not do or die for us. It's not like we have to score. It's not like we have to score first or something to secure the win. Maybe we might have to, but essentially we are through. So the longer the game goes through, that 0-0. If it gets 30 minutes, the first half it's 0-0. There's nothing Porto can really do to get through.
Do you know what?
Jim? Go on. Yeah.
I was just going to say, every game is a priority for Chelsea. You're fighting for top 4. You've got Champions League semi-final.
Is there anyone more important
He's
than the other?
prioritising every game.
Yeah, but is there anyone more important than the other? That's what I'm trying to understand.
No, Jem, because it's Chelsea. It's Chelsea.
They're all cup finals. Yeah, they're all cup finals.
£250 million in the window. You've got a great squad and a top manager. Yeah. They shouldn't be prioritising one over the other.
Do you know what, Jem? Can I?
How are you competing on for 2 trophies at the moment and top 4 position, which we should get? At the end of the day, it's in our hands. We still have to play West Ham, so if we play them, it's in our hands. Leicester have been dropping points lately as well, so it's still in our hands. This top 4.
Definitely. I will back it on Indiana's turn though, and he said very interesting. £250 million we spend, and yes. As a Chelsea football club, I think what our expectation is to win trophies at the end of the day. Romans want us to win at least like couple trophies to answer the quiz by so many people that this team spent a lot of money but didn't win anything. But yeah,
I was going to say just a quick point, and then I'm off. I was going to say, with Porto, how different do you guys think they'll approach it to the first leg? Because you know what, in the first leg they pressed us high. They created some chances. I don't see them playing that differently. Because listen, the way they played the first leg is they were going for us. They were going for our midfield.
They're gonna come at us tomorrow.
They've got nothing to lose. They've got nothing to lose.
Of course. But I'm saying, how different will it be? So how much should we change from the way we played from the first leg?
Like a 4-1 win, Slens. I think they're going.
Yeah, ideally.
They're going to have to come at you. It's not like a league, is it? It's all or nothing for them.
Yeah.
So if anything, it's going to open them up, and maybe you're right. Maybe it's a good game for Timo Werner to play. Maybe you can.
No,
maybe
no, not Timo. Not Timo.
Maybe you
The
can
thing
Jem, thanks for having me on, bro. I'm gonna head off here. Thanks for having me on. Big up.
But don't be surprised if
Barry.
Timo starts though. Don't be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, 100%. But I
Yeah,
don't
I got a
What
question
you saying,
though. A lot of people bring up the 250 million. Were we not going to spend that anyway because we had a transfer ban?
Yeah, no, I get that. No,
Yeah,
I get
so it's
that.
like it's not even a 250 million. It's a fact that we have Tuchel and we have Abramovich, and our standards need to be like this at all times. Like
Chelsea.
our standards dropped off, saying, "Oh, top 4." Like no, we should be.
No, I'm
competing
saying that.
for the league.
I'm saying that's where the expectation should be. So.
Oh, okay.
I get
Yeah.
that. I make that point every time. It's 125 million because you had a transfer ban, what have you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's Chelsea Football Club. The expectation is to win. The whole club is built to win.
I'm going to head off now, Jim. Thanks for
See
having
you
me
later,
on.
Winter Surfer. Take
See
care.
you,
bro.
Jem.
See you later.
Lambs, everyone else, Indiana, Barry. See you later.
See you later. Right.
Sorry, can I ask, where did this Barry thing come from?
You don't need to know. You don't.
Because his name's Barry.
You don't need to know. It's not Barry. Stop.
We've got Alex and JJ. JJ, how you doing, bro? You
Yo,
right?
what you saying? I'm good, bro. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, bro. Not bad.
Excited for the game tomorrow?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. How are you feeling about the game tomorrow? And are you worried? Are you worried that Chelsea
Not
could
worried?
slip up?
Nah. Come on, we're Chelsea Football Club. We shouldn't be worried. We're winning. What? 2-0. We're chilling.
But don't you think
I'm
that
happy.
you're a bit worried that it might sound crazy, but again at some way somehow throughout the game, and then we get casual and that.
I don't see us though. That's the thing. We've been so composed at the back recently. I just don't see us losing. And I feel like Tuchel's tactics as well. He knows what he's doing, so I think we're good.
All right, fair enough. Is there anything you would change in that team as well? Is there anything you'd like to see someone come in? Obviously, we've got a fully fit squad by looks of it, other than Billy Gilmore's the only player that isn't travelling in that squad. So, what would you do? Would Thiago Silva come in?
I would give Thiago Silva minutes under his belt.
You think he deserves it, Christensen?
No, you don't need him for that. It's not a game. It's not a game to win. I'd look at this game as maybe a Tammy should play.
No, Tammy.
Do you know
He's
why?
ready.
No, let me explain why. Because you want to move him on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's easier to move on a player who scores in the Champions League. So play Tammy, play Cho, play Timo Werner, play Silva, get some minutes under his legs, but have those players on the bench and be prepared to bring them on should the worst happen, which I don't think it's going to do.
Tammy apparently has 107 goals and he's English. Selling him's not going to be a problem.
Yeah, but my point is,
but it adds to it, doesn't it? If he scores in the Champions League at this stage of the competition, it adds.
But do you
to
think Tammy's ready? Yeah, he hasn't had enough games under his belt.
Okay, play as Giroud or Havertz. And
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't risk it.
But think about it. Put it this way: if Tammy has a bad game, he ain't gonna start ever really again because Tuchel don't even like him like that. So is it worth the risk?
But if you played Havertz and you got injured, you'd be pissed.
Yeah, we would.
100%.
Yeah, but
well, why
that could happen to any of our players.
Exactly.
Pulisic is one
yeah,
of them.
but if Tammy got injured, would you be pissed?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. No.
Yes, because it would mean no one's going to buy an injured player. So yes, it would be.
Yeah. There's that way of thinking of it. What about Thiago Silva? Does he walk into the back three?
I mean, he could. I wouldn't mind. It's Thiago Silva.
Either way, I don't mind which preference at all. I don't mind at all, as long as we
same. Yeah.
I honestly genuinely think as we progress further into these like semi-final stages, final stages of the Champions League, you are going to come up against better opposition. So it helps to have experience in that back line. And who's more experienced than Thiago Silva? The man got to the final last year. Like we have to give him credit where it's due.
He's won trophies, and a lot of our players in that team haven't. You've got to remember that as well. So
Got
it's
to
always
Champions
good
League
to have
final.
experience like that. Well, this is the thing. This is what I said earlier on here. I said if we get to the Champions League final and you're up against a Bayern Munich, let's just say, or a Man City. Let's say Bayern Munich. Fuck Man City. Bayern Munich, yeah. Who do you want playing in your back against Lewandowski? Christensen or Thiago Silva?
Thiago, no doubt.
All day.
No doubt. Thiago has experience.
Ideally, Thiago Silva, but maybe
You'd risk Christensen.
I'm saying it depends who's on form, but ideally Thiago Silva.
But remember, Christensen's only 25, no experience under scout.
But Thiago Silva.
No, you play Thiago.
Play Thiago Silva. Come on, man.
Let's
stop being If you want to play Christensen, you play him at like
my thing, but also who's on form. Thiago Silva's only played one game thus far since his injury. So he has to now start playing games. He needs to now start playing games.
So give him minutes tomorrow.
That's my point.
Yeah, I think he should.
I agree with you.
Yes.
I think he will play. I think he will.
Yeah. He rates him as well.
He should do.
I think that's, but this goes back to the whole Jovicic thing with Jorginho and Kovacic. You get to a Champions League final against Bayern Munich and they've got Kimmich, Goretzka. Do you want Kante in there or do you want Jorginho and Kovacic?
No, remove Jorginho. Kante.
Hands down, Kante.
World-class player.
We're gonna get overrun if we play those other two.
I
think do we think Tuchel thinks like that? That's the thing.
Yes,
100%.
Yes, because these are the games where these are the games where you want your world-class players to step up in a Champions League final or a Champions League semi-final against Real Madrid. So I think it just depends on who partners can do that. Is it Jorginho or Kovacic? I don't think Indiana has hair now.
Yep.
Yo,
you got a trim.
You know what it is, Jam.
I did.
No wonder you've been cold.
And unlike most people, I booked 2 weeks ago to get a haircut. We're waiting 2 hours.
Indiana looking like a bad bee. I see it.
Thank you.
You know what it is? Like, I actually felt like I was as good as manager as Frank Lampard. So now that Tuchel's there, I trust Tuchel. You feel me? Like, I trust his decision. He's one of the best managers in the world, like top 10. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he is the best. Like, in terms of tactician, preparing, nobody stresses the game like more than him. You know what I mean? Going through different situations, simulations. But with, like, say if it was Lampard, I would have been like, okay. Like, I felt like I knew better decisions than Lampard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think you know what I see it with him is he's got really high standards. You know, I think he's got really high standards for the team. So which is kind of promising to. Every time someone makes a mistake, he always gets annoyed about it, and he wants all the best for Chelsea. And I see that. And, every time, even if we make one small particular mistake, he's always on the touchline animated. Like, no, come on, man.
Alex, no. He wants the best for him.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
that's the manager you want. You want the manager that wants the best for him because he wants to win.
No, I agree.
You want a manager
have a winning mentality.
He's got that,
yeah.
But he's that kind of guy that wants the best, and he wants the best. So that's. But Gemma, I just want to say one question for the game.
All right.
What I think tomorrow, yes, I think we have a 2-0 lead, but I still think Chelsea should just play as they've been playing. Don't go there and think, we've got 2-0 lead. Let's be more solid for the first. However, for the first 30 minutes, let's be solid. Let's not make them cause any chances for the first 30 minutes, because the first 30 minutes in this game are going to be super important. If we can get by half time without conceding a goal, I see us going through 100%.
See you back.
100%. I think the first 30 minutes in this game are going to be super important. If we stay solid and we it's gonna be an important part of the game. The first 30 minutes, man.
Well, do you guys think Pulisic will start?
No, I don't think so. I think he's going to start. I think he's going to start against Man City. I've got a feeling that Giroud is going to play in this game. I've got a feeling like Giroud maybe. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting how this game is going to go. But I think we should still go into this game with the same mentality to try and win the game. Not actually thinking that we have a 2-goal lead, because if we do that, I see us conceding 1 goal, and then who knows? Chelsea, every time at the moment when we do concede goals, we do seem to capitulate. So I'm kind of scared in that sense. But who would you guys play? Reece James or Callum Hudson-Odoi?
Reece James.
I think in this,
Yeah.
I think in this game it needs
Reece
to be the same.
James.
He has to. He has to play. Yeah.
Defensively, we need him.
Defensive, yeah.
So they're going to be attacking us as well. Bear in mind.
No, put it
And that
this way,
left
right?
back gets forward a lot.
Well,
When
we all know one thing, people. Mason Mount going to start as a false 8. So
Don't
No,
bring
no,
that
Mason
class
Mount-
ref over here, bro.
One thing that
if you know, you know.
Can
Yeah, I
someone
saw that on
explain-
Lewis's
can
live.
someone explain
That's
what a false 8 is?
You
No,
can
no,
ask-
Is that
It's
from
from Monster
Box
Show.
DM? Is
It's
that like a Box
Have
DM?
you all know Clustrev, right? Clustrev was smoking drugs, right? And came up with a revolutionary tactic. Marcus Alonso false 10, left wing, and Mason Mount a false 8.
Oh, man.
Yeah, those sound like some good drugs, to be honest.
And then he says false 1.
No,
I
it's
said like
not
false
false
6
one.
at one point.
That's what earlier in the stream, because I was so confused with people's comments. It was like, play Werner as a false 11, play Thiago Silva as a false 3. I was like, who's this? Where are these false positions coming from?
I'll tell you after the streams. Then
Madness.
it was mad.
Oh,
By the way, where's the
I'm
No,
not
you
even-
need to watch the stream again, man.
take over, Lance? Take over, Lance.
I mean, I was just literally going through some of these comments because they are like, Kai just coming here on smoke right now, just going.
There was a debate on Monster's channel. Would you rescue
Who's he
players?
gonna roast?
The thing is, because we were talking about this earlier, whether to start Kante or Jovicic.
Because
but
Man City's
I
around
was
the
like,
corner.
Kante, the way Porto are running through our midfield, like without Kante there, I'm actually worried they're going to do the same. And especially because this is all or nothing, like Indiana said, they've got nothing to lose. So usually it can be quite dangerous playing a team who's got nothing. Who's got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Lance, do you really want to play him though? Like Kante's been injured. I wouldn't. You're going to need
No,
him.
we play Kante, man. Come
I
on.
know we have City. That is an important game. You definitely want him in that midfield.
Yeah.
Can't let
There's a
that
bit argument. There's a bit argument. Yeah, I would say about Kante mainly because some people are a bit worried just because Kante cannot handle the pressure. If Porto are going to pressure Chelsea, yeah, I think Kante can.
It's a myth, man.
He's
That's
meant
how
to,
we
man.
played
He's a
at
world-class player.
Madrid.
Yeah,
come on. This is Kante we're talking about.
It's just on Monster Show. You got people like Johnny saying because if Mount was playing against West Brom, we wouldn't have lost that game like that.
No, it's true.
He said that Thiago Silva would get red carded as well. That's what he said.
Yeah.
No,
if Frank was manager, you'd have won.
Yeah.
You'd have lost all the other games. You'd be.
You're funny, Indiana.
But
But
seriously,
he
would have
is
beat West
true,
Brom. I actually believe
He's
that.
kind of true.
What it is, but let's quickly go through what we believe is going to be the score lines. We're going to start with Lambs. Lambs, what are you going for scoreline tomorrow, please?
I'm gonna go 2-1 to us. I think Porto will get a goal back, but I think overall we should be 4-1 on aggregate.
Goal scorers?
I'm going for Havertz. I'm going for Mount. I'm going for Havertz and Mount.
Nice. Father, same question to you.
I'll go 2-0. I'll take Havertz as well, and then you got Mason Mount to score.
Okay, there you go. Javi?
3-1. Who the hell scoring? Maybe Mount. That's gonna score. I'm going Havertz gonna score, and those it. Either Havertz score 2 or something. I don't know, bro. We just get the win.
Just get the win. Just get the win is what Javi's saying. Indiana?
4-0, 4-1. I think they've got to come at you.
Wow.
Who do?
Chelsea.
Oh, right.
What team do you support?
United.
He's a United fan.
I could just tell.
Why?
You just tell.
No, I actually.
About the minute you can see.
No,
who's
seriously.
coming from
Seriously,
my-
I think they're going to come at you. Chelsea are way too good for Porto, and if they come at you and open up like that,
Don't you think that it might sound crazy? Don't you think you're not worried about our attack though? When you set 4-1,
I'm not worried about Werner. I'm not going to lie. I never have been.
And I ain't worried about that happening as well, because that will never happen in a million years.
I do. I mean, if you play Giroud, I don't think any defender wants to play against Giroud at all.
Yeah,
I still think he's quality. I think Pulisic, when he's fit, he could be. If Pulisic was fit, he'd be one of the best in the league. Best players in the league.
That's
His
the problem.
ability is incredible.
I think we tried to ease him in because
you got Havertz.
Yeah.
If Havertz can get fit, get a run of games, he's a top player. I'm not worried about that at all. I mean, I look at Chelsea and I think you need a Sancho more than a Haaland. That's my opinion. Like if you're gonna go because I don't think Cho's got that end product that you need in terms of stepping up to win titles. He's still young. I agree with that. I know he's still young, but he hasn't got it. Regardless of what the reason is, he hasn't got it yet.
He lacks his shooting ability, which is the main.
Yeah, but he does play. Yeah, but think about it. He plays
it's
on
not
the right.
as good.
He plays on the right. He's not. He's left.
No,
foot.
he's
right
got
foot.
everything. He can dribble. He's got everything but shooting.
All I'm saying is
he's got great ability on the ball. Incredible ability on the ball. It's just not. He's just not there. Whether that's down to the injuries or running games, whatever it may be, he's not there right
it's the
now.
position he's playing in.
But I do think you obviously need a striker because Giroud's going to be a year older and Werner's not hit it off at all.
And Tammy's leaving.
Tammy's leaving, and Tammy's not good enough anyway to take you to the next level, win titles. But I do think you do have a dangerous attack. I think you've got good midfielders. Midfield's quality. You've got Alonso when you play him as a wing back. He's very dangerous going forwards. Crap defensively.
Alonso.
But I think he's very good going forwards.
No,
He's always a threat. He's always a threat.
He's like a snail. He's a snail.
He's still a threat.
He's slow, but you can't deny his technical ability. But
every now and then he scores a
Chilwell's a big threat. Reece James is a quality player. I think he's going to be a midfielder. Looks like your defense is pretty strong. You've got a good side. I'd be worried about it. There's a reason why when Man United played you, we pushed the fullbacks up high. We had to. We couldn't play the way we'd normally play. We'd get beat. We get absolutely annihilated. But I think you should. I think they'll come at you, and I can see four goals, Chelsea.
JJ, what are you saying?
I got 2-1 still. Havertz, and I'm gonna give one a goal.
Okay.
He needs it, man.
Yeah, he needs it, man.
Alex?
I see it being a close game. I think it's going to be a 1-1.
A 1-1. Yeah.
I think it's going to be a draw. I think
we might
get the first goal, or they might get the first goal, and then we'll nick one back. And I think it's going to be a close game to me. I think, to be honest, 1-1 for me.
Trevor, it's cool talking to you, India.
Yeah.
Trevor, what happened, Trevor, if we win the UEFA Champions League?
I think you get a trophy, Kai. They give you a trophy. There'll be a presentation at the end of the game, and you get some money out of it. That's what will happen.
Not much money at COVID times.
Real Chris.
Yeah, they're desperate for money, aren't they?
Yeah. I got my score. I've already thought about it for a while now. We'll go win 3-1 in that game.
Me and Chris got the same score, but Chris is always positive.
Have we?
Yeah.
No, well, no. Well, right now, it's hard to look negative when we're playing under Tuchel, but I think if Kai Havertz starts, he'll score again, and if Timo starts, he'll score.
Yes.
And who else am I gonna put? I'm gonna put
Money Mace.
Jorginho penalty.
That's disrespectful.
Jorginho penalty.
Stop that. I think Monopoly Money Mace, you can call him. Or you can call him the welcome.
So, Jorginho.
Monopoly Money Mace.
One second.
Oh, my.
Go on, what are you saying? Jorginho?
Jorginho scored a penalty in that game as well, I reckon.
Interesting.
That's the only way you ever score anyway. Let's be serious.
I bet he scores a worldie now. Top corner.
He
doesn't
Hassan, what are you saying, mate?
He's muted.
Muted, mate. If he's still there.
The amount hype.
Hassan.
I don't think he's there. I reckon Hassan probably reckon 5-1.
I'm gonna go with a
back your team, Jem. Back them.
I'm gonna go with a 2-1 Chelsea.
That I was close to saying.
I'm gonna go with.
See, it's hard, man.
I'm gonna go with Mason Mount again.
Oh boy.
And then I'm gonna go with Kante.
Yeah, that's
I was gonna say that, yo. I was gonna say, imagine if Kante scores.
No crusty.
I've got this
No
weird
crusty.
feeling that Kante's gonna do one of them weird runs and just like put one at the bottom of the net. I just
Like against the
see
Man
that.
City.
You know when Kante gets a goal, it just stands out a lot of times. I would say like
Because
against
it's normally
Liverpool,
against Man United.
against
that's
United.
why.
Yeah, against United as well.
Our City.
Against even when he gets a header as well, like he just somehow wins a header and scores it. Like even against Liverpool when he put a top right when he went round players, like he just has those like I don't know, like standing out goals. I would say.
He scores against a big team, so he scored like twice against City.
Yeah,
Hassan, Hassan, you here now, bro?
Yeah. I was lagging before. I was lagging
It's
out.
all right, mate. No worries. What's your score predictions and who's scoring?
I think it's gonna be 2-0 again, and I think if Ziyech is starting, I think he will score because he's like a moment's player. My second goal scorer, I think it might be between. I don't know. It's probably might be a defender. Really, I think it's gonna be one of the defenders who puts a corner in.
Well, I'll tell you, Saint, mate, it's not going to be Christensen because he never scored a goal in his life. So,
Oh, jam.
I think
I didn't say it was a header. I didn't say it was a header.
If the defender's going to score, then we should throw on Zuma as the sub because
do you know what, right?
Nah,
Tell us
Silva was
tomorrow, right? We're going to win 2-0 and Jorginho's going to score a screamer and Christensen's going to score a header. What?
I went
Never score a
completely
header.
opposite.
Mark my words.
Werner, and Werner. That's what I'm going for.
Yes.
You just keep. I'll blame his form on you because you just keep putting this dark magic over him, man. Ever since you said it,
Timo Werner goal.
You've done something.
No, I actually think if he plays tomorrow, he'll score. Because they're going to come at you.
Don't lie.
Yes,
I
I
don't
do.
believe that.
Jem, you know I am sick of losing money by betting on him to score. I'm not doing it anymore. The amount of money
Wait, you actually bet on Werner to score?
How much did you lose?
Every game for about 4 months, yes. Because I
How much
thought
did you put in?
eventually.
That's that gambling, bro. That's that gambling.
I was like,
Yeah,
I'm not doing it anymore.
On him, he might score. How about that one?
He has to score. He has to.
In the
Has to score.
what's it called? Crystal Palace game. I got 2 of the scores right, and I almost got the score right in the Crystal Palace. I said 5-1, and I said Kai Havertz and Pulisic will score.
Trevor, stop using black magic on our players. Is what.
I don't need to. No, listen, Chelsea fans done that when they started screaming, pray for the rivals, walk the Champions League, win in the Premier League. Werner's, you don't know how good Werner is. Do you know how good Werner is? Oh, he's going to be banging goals.
To be fair, the rivals fans did push us for the title agenda, but a lot of them. No. Listen, no. Whose fund this was this? Chelsea were joint point with us. They were spending money. Why isn't our board backing our club? That's how you got your funds were crying for your club to spend, but I was just saying. I was just saying.
Cut those for short. I've got to go on the football terrace now, which is 5 minutes away. So,
Oh yeah, I didn't realize
have
that.
to shoot off, and then I'm going live with Indiana on the Get to Know with Elite KJ as our next
Yeah.
guest on
Guest.
the show.
Guest, Jem.
I'll say that guest. Yeah, it's been a long day, mate. It's been
Should be a
long
good one, that one.
day. Should be a good one. 10 p.m. Make sure you go over to the First XI on YouTube, and you'll see us on there at 10.
And get your questions in, man. Get your questions in for KJ.
Yeah, get your questions in. People, thank you for coming on. Yeah, appreciate it as always. Hopefully, we'll get the win tomorrow. We will be doing a player rating show at some point as well, so make sure you tune in for that. Lamb's father, Javi, Alex, Real Chris, Hassan, and man like Trevor. Thank you very, very much. And
No
we'll
worries.
see you again.
No,
Green was
that-
the real money maker, by the way. Just to let you know. Only one money maker. Murder maker. Harlem World.
Who's ready for the outro? Let's go.
It's like it's free time when it's free time. In the dance, they have to take a glance. We step in at the